on this part, this grief. We don't address it. So why do we feel our kids were supposed to address it? They have, murderous anniversaries because they don't know how to address it. We was the same way. Man, somebody got to get hit back, man. Yeah. Are you stupid? This is the only way we're going to feel good. And we're learning that it does nothing to the shame, the guilt that you felt. You still talking about, man, I should have been there with the homie. You didn't kill everybody, but you still feel like, man, when he got killed, he called me and I wasn't. You ain't did nothing with your shame and guilt. Your hurt and sadness still there. It's the same way with somebody getting 1 billion years. Okay, he got 1 billion years. You went and testified, you got him 1 billion years, he hurt your family. You still got those emotions. So, we're not doing anything with grief. It's piling up. All we're doing with grief is we bury it.
Yeah.
The families eat a little spaghetti, eat a little chicken.
Yeah.
Send them about their way. Mm-hmm. So that's the next phase for viable healing, is to get the churches to buy in, to create that space for those young people, older people, to be able to come in and keep that extension so you are close to the family. It'll build the denominations back into the church and show that deeper connection. The other one, school. Yeah. Check-ins. Okay, emotional check-ins. Right now, the schools say they bought into SEL, social emotional learning. They say trauma, it's the same way with food insufficiency. Is that if a kid's tummy is hurting, he ain't learning. Same thing with that mental. Something happened up in that house last night, because they understanding that the kids are bringing more than books in their book bags, right? There's a lot of things that went on that night in our neighborhood. They watched somebody in the neighborhood be killed at the corner store from somebody touching them that shouldn't, or yelling at them, or putting their hands on them. That's coming up in that school. As a teacher, you need to understand that. And by understanding that is the first beginning of the year, you say, students, we're going to check on each other. And in our circles, we do emotional check-ins, 1 through 10. If you're a 10, we like to snap our fingers. Okay, share with us, bro. Why you a 10? Man, I just got a job. And then you roll around and you say, my name is such. I'm checking in at a 5. Anything a 5 and under, we're going to ask you, would you like to share that 5? You have the option to say, yeah, man, my P.O., this mother, wherever or my husband, or if it's a men's, whatever. Or you might just say, I passed today. Yeah. And you have that right. We keep it moving, but we tell you we're aware of your 5. Thank you for sharing. You feel warm in that 5. You know you ain't sharing nothing. We ride along with you in that 5. So anyway, back to the schools. If a teacher just says, right off the bat, we're doing this every day. When we come back after break, whatever, we're going to do this every day. Guys, if I don't check in with you, you remind me. Yeah. Check in with me. And the teacher is honest enough to be able to say, if you're a 6 today. See, so we have a barometer in the room. Yeah. Sound about right? Mm-hmm. Then we create additional space. I don't know why I'm giving everybody my game here. Yeah. But I want to pass it because I know God gave it to me and it ain't mine. Yeah. Additional space. And that's that cushion for that child that comes in and they smoking. Yeah. Okay, Amy? If you need some time, go in there, got your little bean bag, books or whatever, something real calm. You can go in there with your, so letting you know right off, I understand. And I'm emotionally connected. As soon as I get everybody where I need them to be, I'll come and check with you. Yeah. Kids, at the beginning of the year, this is sacred. Don't just use this coming in. We need to know and keep this space for you guys when you really just want to be, All those things will knock down suspicious everything, bruh. Yeah. And the biggest piece is the relationship with the teacher and the student. When the student know that you're checking in on me, emotionally, you understand why I'm feeling this way, and you ain't just, why aren't you doing your stuff? Why didn't you? So if we understand social emotional learning, we got to understand and be able to have implementation and practices around it. So we just can't say a word. I just gave you practices around it. Action. And I guarantee we decrease that and we build on the relationships back to restorative justice again, because we're talking about relationships. So those are things in a nutshell, kind of giving you some direction. You guys can hit me with some questions and let's do it. I just want to give you a little framework.
Yeah, I got you. I appreciate it, man. So first I want to know, why is emotional regulation is one of the hardest and most necessary skills for men today?
Because we crash out. One thing I'm teaching the youngsters right now, man, I wish, I was built on emotion.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was light-skinned. All the rest of my family was darker. So when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see myself connected to everybody else. I just learned that I'm, half Mexican. I didn't know why my mom thought I was half white. I just knew I was half something.
Right.
And that wasn't regulating. I'm from the 60s, late 60s. And so that wasn't regulating real good with my grandfather from the South and different stuff. So that kind of created some of the poverty when my mom kind of was forced to move. So I always knew I was looked at differently. Didn't have a father, and I looked different from all my family. So it was built in me early. Like growing up, some of my homies used to be like, "What's up, white boy?" In playfulness. Right. Oh, I hated that because, see, growing up in North Omaha, to call me a white boy is to call me soft. Then I grew up, I had the Napoleon complex. I'm short. Yeah. So I had all this stuff going on, man. And so in school, anybody would tell you from elementary on, man, I didn't have a slick joke back. If you talked about me and we in poverty, I got high waters on, as they call them, flooding and all this stuff, and might have smelled like a little bit of pee. Yeah. Wearing the same clothes or whatever. I ain't really conscious. I'm just going to school. So when these things came up, and this is why I understand a lot of this, what the kids going through right now. I didn't have that slick comment. You had some of my friends or some, you talk about me, they was jokesters. They have everybody laughing and you off of them. I'm punching you in your face. Yeah. That's all I knew. And my mom was okay. Well, leave him alone.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah?
You got the green light.
You know what I mean? And come up in the teacher's office and, I know y'all. Oh, she at y'all. Yeah. So my mom was a big enabler. Yeah. So I learned the custom to this being procedure. And throughout life is just crashing. Crashing. I mean, my homeboys later on, there was a situation where a dude was like, "Shut up, yellow bitch ass." Yeah. I shot him. Yeah. My partner's like, "Man, what the?" Man, he wasn't doing nothing but talking. I was like, well, he should have shut the up. Right. Later on, I started kind of realizing, like, because our code word back then was similar to today, but we used to say, "You in your body." That was you telling your homeboy, tell you, "Man, get out your body." Yeah. You remember that? Mm-hmm. That means you what? Yeah.
Get out your body.
You know what I mean? Yeah. See, so you wasn't handling those emotions right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You out your body. You know what I mean? Get out your feelings, man.
Yeah.
Your feelings is going to cloud you from making a good decision.
Right.
See, so all those things are relevant, and I understand them today. So it's very important that we get this message to our young people because they the ones crashing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They are so sensitive, man. I mean, sensitive. Oh, yeah, I thought I was sensitive. Yeah. They very sensitive, man. And so they're not handling that and that pride thing. You talk about my hood, it's like, you talked about my flag. Right. I mean, we going to war. Right. So that's why it's important, bro, is we crash. And if we don't play, and I always tell the kids, let's play chess and not checkers. Yeah. And break it down to them and tell them how we do that. and how we regulate that. We can't be making decisions off of emotion.
Yeah.
That's not a manly thing to do. Our ladies are more prone to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think God just geared them that way because we geared so the other way.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
Yeah, we are.
Mom like, oh, babe, oh my God, he's bleeding. And dad like, oh man, come on, boy, that ain't nothing. Get up.
Right. Yeah.
So we kind of geared in that way. That don't make us, God put that balance together for that. That's why that family needs that.
Yeah, they do.
Mom should be able to get in her place. She shouldn't be talking about, get your punk ass in here, right? Yeah. She trying to take on that masculine because she feel like she losing the battle. See, I've been in these battle wars and I'm seeing it, and he telling you, you did something that wasn't ladylike and I don't respect you no more. Yeah. Now he's exerting his manhood and he want to resemble and talk to you like you allow somebody else to talk to you. Mm-hmm. See, so how do we reset that, right? Yeah. So that's that piece.
Yeah, yeah. Like we were saying before, man, it is important to have, if you don't have a father in the house, at least have somebody, a male figure role that could help a young boy manage his emotions. Because like you said, man, coming up with a woman being the primary head honcho in the house and she's trying to play dual roles, that boy ain't gonna know how to manage those emotions like that. Like a mom, she'll blow up over something small. A dad will look at it like, man, it ain't nothing, this how we gonna go about it. You know what I mean? But if you don't have that source, of course, you're gonna have them crashing out.
And a lot of young men that I work with, same as me, we tone it out. We tone it out.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna get to that point.
Ain't nothing coming through. It's yelling.
Yeah.
So we ain't heard nothing, Mom.
Nothing at all.
And it was some good information in there.
I hear you, but I ain't listening.
Real talk about the circuits. You know?
Yeah. I hear you, but I'm not listening.
And that's what happens because she's saying, hey, you know what I mean? I got to get out of mama, nurturing, loving, all that, and I got to go into some masculine because he trying me. And that's that piece where we need different types of programs going on right now. I got to give a shout out to my brother Kasim, Bud Crawford's security. Okay. He has a program called Urban Survival, and all of his kids are not in trouble, and he's catching a lot of the kids in that moment. So a man step in. Mom said we need him to do something. He need to, you know what I mean, and his voice getting a little rough around here, right? That's where that man need to come in, and we do it collectively. Like I said, he's taking them out there, man, into the fields, doing what, like my grandfather, taught me, the fishing, the survival, getting it off the, the grip. And the kids love it. And once again, the beautiful part is more upstream. These kids ain't in trouble yet. He's catching them when those signs are there.
Right.
When mom need help. We got a lot of single moms. So we need things like that. And then we won't be so overwhelmed thinking that we got to just do it alone, because that's what scared me at first. I seen all of this and said, I'm just one person and driving up here too. I said, man, I'm gonna run myself ragged. So I learned to be able to put myself in spaces, so I'm able to get a lot more done.
Right. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I'm glad you got that program going to help these young boys, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of red dots you can put out there, like if they can, especially at schools, and then just the atmosphere for the family, like you said, the food and that's just like taking off their shield, kind of. You break them down after a while. That third meeting, like, you won't get them to shut up, like you said. And
it is real.
And then just learning by example too, like taking the kids out there before they get in trouble. Yeah. Because we just donated, like Hope Spoke and Lincoln won the grant last week. We gave it to them in our class, but they'll usually have to get in trouble first, right? Before you get attention. And the man, maybe you have a man at home that thinks it's cute to be that way too, though. So.
Well, that's what Pac said. You don't get noticed till you got that 4-5.
Right. Okay, so what advice would you give a man who's feeling like he's losing control of his emotion?
I would definitely, tell them that, you know, you got to be able to have somebody to confide into, you know what I mean? And because what you need normally in those moments, you know you good to go, especially if you got that spiritual, but we get beat down, man, constantly. And the issue with us men is we so used to carrying so much armor, right? For our kids, you know, we got to show up masculine, right? We got to maintain that masculinity. And that's why I want to create this container, because we got to, and I call it container because it has to be contained. It's the only way men are going to be vulnerable with the things that we need to be vulnerable that's actually affecting us. It ain't, oh, she yabs. No, it's what she's saying to you, tearing your heart apart. Well, who you going to tell that to? So it builds. And that's no different from the kids, us. We all share that together. Yeah. If you don't have an outlet, some people might say golf, this, that, and that. I just believe, and it could just be the mirror. I don't know. But you have to, you know, hit that valve and let it out. I've seen in situations where you don't have to say one thing. I ain't lying. I've had partnerships, I just let them roll.
Yeah.
And he said, man, I know exactly what I'm doing. Man, Pico, thank you, man. I ain't saying too much of nothing. Ask a couple questions. So what you think, what you will? Yeah. You'll get there. But you need to be heard. You need to be felt. You need to know that you're relevant. Somebody relevant with you in that moment. Somebody going through it with you. It's ain't about no money, support, none of that, see? Because, see, if a person really in that mode, he ain't thinking about no money. Man, you got people talking about taking their lives. They ain't thinking about going to your pocket. They need a voice, man. They need to know that they relevant. So anybody going through that, man, before you even think, you know, and I know it's dark. I've been there. I've been in, man, cages where there's nobody, man. And so I developed poetry. And so I started talking to myself through poetry. I started healing myself through poetry. I started letting my rage go through poetry. You know, wrote a poem, Concrete Tune, when I was in the hole. I needed it. It was like, and it was probably the most radical thing I ever, and I ain't gonna hide it, but it'll come one, but you know, people like, whoa, you know, but it was what I was feeling in that moment, and I needed to get that out. So it's whatever outlet, but for me, I just believe that you just need, and that's where we go back to that connection. You know, ain't no podcast or nothing. You need that real connection, you know, in that moment.
And that's what me and James have been talking about earlier, about having a brotherhood, a circle of brothers that you can call when you are in those head spaces that could help you regulate your emotions, that will have that open ear, maybe even come by the house, pick you up, and just take you out so you could express yourself. So that will at least try to stop you from doing something stupid. And I mean, just overall in a nutshell, just have somebody to talk to that's a safe place for you to express those emotions, man, because in some situations or relationships, man, you will be in with your woman or your wife, and most men fear telling their wife or girlfriend everything, in fear that at some point they may have an argument and she's going to bring it, regurgitate it. And now I done been vulnerable with you, and I done told you all this stuff, and here you are throwing it in my face, just trying to get back at me. So I feel like that's one of the reasons some men have issues with expressing themselves with certain people.
It's a big issue. Is that, and for men, you know, it's kind of like what I tell the young men. Those spaces, two things that has to remain to be the foundation. I mean, that's the Constitution. That's safety. You know, everybody got to feel safe. And that's sacredness, right? You know, and for the kids, it's some kids like to giggle a little bit, and some of them kids are processing some stuff, so we can't have that take away from the sacredness, right? That's safety. Like for us men, we already got our armors on, so we ain't worried about you doing nothing to us physically. But do I want to tell you something that may make you look at me weak?
Right. That's it.
I think I might want to keep my armor on.
Right. Yeah.
See, I've seen it. So I've done these circles in prison. I done, like I said, when they rolling, and some of my prison circles, and them was guys a little more vulnerable, and you wouldn't think they would be. Same way you wouldn't think in prison that you're gonna find integrity and honesty and all that other stuff. But I think, when that tissue being used up, like I remember the prisoners asked me, well, Roscoe, what you need for your program in there? What type of stuff? Some people need setups, TVs, all that. I said, well, a whole bunch of boxes of tissue if we're being real.
Yeah.
And if you get men on that level, man, you'd be surprised, man, and how we can support each other when we really get vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You want to talk about strength?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we